Day 7 of the Colt Starting Clinic with professional clinician Jeff Davis started with a short classroom session. After congratulating the participants on how well their horses are doing in the clinic and answering a few questions, Jeff directed everyone down to the runs for a catching demonstration. The clinician has been asking the class if anyone is having any issues with their horses, and Jacqueline, who owns the affectionately nicknamed Gigantor, mentioned that the gelding is a little leery of being caught, especially by people he's unfamiliar with. Jeff decided to turn the situation into a teaching moment for everyone.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple of things, just catching in general, what we would like to see. That's not it. See how he's kind of got his head in the corner as soon as he sees us come in here, he doesn't want anything to do with us. What you'd like to see is you come in, the horse gives you two eyes, he walks up to you, you can give him a big hug and put his head down and all this good stuff. All jokes aside, I'd like him to at least give me two eyes. That's really what I'm after here. So we're gonna sort of treat him, regardless of whether he's really being difficult or not, we're gonna kind of treat him as if he is, and we'll set this little thing up and we'll kind of show you what you would do. Some of the horses, like a horse like this, some of that might just be him a little worried about you. He might be a little bit worried about new people. A lot of these Mustangs like that, they're not used to lots of people. So, you know, when we have a horse like this in training, usually what we'll do is we'll have everybody on the ranch, we'll have every one of them go up to him and groom them 5 minutes a day, twice a day. So he might get to see 5, 6, 10 people a day other than me. Because when I leave, if I leave to go to a clinic and I leave for 3 days and I come back, he'll act like he never seen me before. They're not used to having, you know, people in and out. If you're not around them all the time, that's where one of these things, if you're gonna train these kind of horses, you gotta be there. You can't be an absentee parent, so to speak. You gotta stay in there pretty consistently, okay? So you can do this with just your lead rope, but it probably works a little better if you have your stick just in case. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna essentially go round pin him in this run right here. These runs are a perfect size for this. They're 25 wide by 50 long. So there's not so much room that they can just run around, completely ignore you and just evade you out here. You don't want to go do something, don't do something like I want to do right now in a 20-acre field. You know, if I had $1 for every time somebody said, well, my horse is in a 50-acre pasture and he's hard to catch, what do? Put him in something smaller so you can teach him. Preferably a round pin, that's the best place to do it. And then wean him out into something maybe a little bigger, like the cutting pin that we've got. That'd be another little next step. Leave him in there for a little while and get him good at being caught. Then you can put him into a bigger pasture, and then eventually you can very much do the same thing and he'll be used to being caught and coming up to you. Another thing I would tell you, if your horse is having a trouble being caught, don't turn him out with a bunch of rogues that are tough to be caught either. Because then it's big fun to, look at her out there, she can't keep up and she's tripping and falling over ant mounds and all this kind of stuff. It's real fun and games with a tail over their back, running around a 10-acre pasture while you're chasing after them, about to throw the stick and string at them. So try to keep them, when we have them in training, this is how we have them. We like to have them by themselves. That way he's got me to focus on. He's not trying to worry about running around with all the other horses. It's pretty difficult for a horse, you know, being a herd animal, to ignore all the other horses galloping around and walk up to you and put his head in the halter. You get what I'm saying? So set him up for success, not failure. So here's what we're gonna do here. Let's just go move him around. I'm not gonna try to catch him. I'd like for him to catch me. Okay, so I'm just gonna go move him around. Just like in the round pin, what are we doing right now? Establish direction. So all I want him to do is go to the left. So when I come in here, I'm not even gonna attempt to catch him initially. Now, you need to have a little feel here when you do this, guys, depending on how sensitive the horses are. Don't go in here and really start turning up the heat and really start chasing him. I'm just pressuring him, just keeping him moving. I want him to at least trot, but he doesn't have to gallop around the run or anything like that. There we go. See how that's a little slick there? So don't really get him loping down there. I don't want him to slide and step under the fence. When he gets down here, I kind of step in front. See how it gives me 2 eyes? There. And we go move him around. So the round pinning is not just good to get a little control of the feet, that's also how we teach our horses to be caught. So when I say I want him to catch me, when we teach those horses to give us 2 eyes and follow us into the center and the round pin, that's what you're doing. You're teaching those horses to be caught. I don't want to have to go chase him around. I'd like him to give me 2 eyes and offer that to me. There we go. So how long do you move them around? You want to move them around long enough to where when you let them give you 2 eyes, it's a real release of pressure for them, okay? Some horses will kind of stick their head in the corner and you'll have to get around behind them and put a little more pressure on them. See how he keeps doing a smaller and smaller circle? He's highly ambitious, okay? Step in front, pressure, there. When he gives me 2 eyes, release the pressure and ignore him. So right now, we may very well be able to walk up to him and catch him, but I'm not gonna try to catch him. I just want him to realize that when he looks at me and gives me 2 eyes, I'll take the pressure away. That's all I'm looking for. If you get them realizing you're gonna let them get their air back, looking at you, have you ever had a problem catching a horse that won't take his eyes off of you? Like he literally just walks around the pen like doing this? That doesn't happen. What do? You walk in the pen, up yours, and they just gallop off the other way. That's what they do, okay? If you'll teach him, when I walk in here, keep your eyes on me, okay? So I'm probably 15 feet away from him, something like that. Next time, I'll rest a little closer to him. The closer you are when you rest, the stronger the magnet is between the 2 of you, okay? So we'll kind of demonstrate. We didn't do a lot of this in the colt starting round pinning portion because we kind of need to move on. The catching portion, it's important. And if this was a fundamental clinic and we had more time, we would have spent more time with it. In the colt starting, it's more about getting the gas pedal and getting them to change directions a little bit. But we'll kind of talk about it in this session. So let's go back and move him around. There we go. So this horse is being really good about like not wanting to constantly change directions. He's not running into the corner and trying to hide his head from us. He's being pretty good about that. So if I had a horse that was really hard to catch, I may go try to catch him or catch him like I'm doing right now 4 or 5 times a day, okay? Come in here and just practice this. Catch him, scratch on him a little bit, maybe feed him, and then walk out of the, turn him loose, flex him a couple times, turn him loose, walk out of the run. Do that 4 or 5 times a day. That way, every time he sees you, he doesn't associate with you, oh great, here we go. It's gonna be a big 2-hour session, messing around with you, running, sweating, burning calories, and he associates you with something negative after a while. Step in front. So I want him to look at me a little bit more there. There. Kind of back away from him a little. There. So when I say there, I'm looking for him to just turn and face me. In front, back, 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 there. Just like the round pinning. Now I'm going to kind of zigzag my way up a little closer. Instead of just walking straight up to him, zigzag your way in, especially on a horse that's like this. Like, let's look at the look on his face. He's a little apprehensive just about me in general, okay? Now, he's by no means wild, but he's definitely not real crazy about us. So if I can get in a little closer and just kind of let him smell me a little bit here, there, retreat and walk away from him. The more you go in here, guys, and you're trying to catch him, I'm trying to get up and put the halter on him, the funnier he's gonna be about you walking up and putting the halter on. So I kind of walk in here like looking for a horse. You guys seen a horse? Okay. Oh, there's maybe a horse right there. Rub him and then leave him. Act like you don't want him. You guys ever had a hard time catching a horse? Like when you go to fix the fence, you come out here to patch the fence, what do? They're on top of you, knocking your hat off, pulling the tools out of the toolbox, okay? Running off with your stuff because you're ignoring them. You're not putting any pressure on him. See how he kind of wants to hide his head away? There. When he straightens his head out, leave him. The more you act like you don't want them, the more they'll want to follow you. Women have been doing this to men forever. And we're just like horses, we fall for it every time. There we go. Wait. There we go. Remember how he's a little funny to catch out there in that outdoor arena? If he kind of turns away too much, I'll go try to catch his eye, put a little pressure on his hindquarters. Step in front now. Little pressure there, pressure. The more you drive his hip, there, the more you'll get his face. Let's go move him around again. What's hard when you're doing something like this is when you're first learning this is to not be so insistent about trying to catch him. I gotta get the halter on him. I gotta get the halter on him. Get him to want you to put the halter on. I want him looking at you like, I'm right here. Jacqueline, put the halter on. And you're like, nah, well, I'm just not sure. I don't know if I'm in the mood or not. I could rethink it. And the more you kind of flip the tables like that, the easier he'll be to catch. Now this is gonna work for the horse that's just kind of, maybe he's just a little bit of a smart aleck and he thinks he can just avoid you in the pen. It'll work for that horse, or it'll also work for this horse that actually is he's a little bit funny about being approached when he's loose like that, especially by me. He doesn't get to see me every day. And the couple days that we have seen each other, I'm not exactly his biggest fan. There, retreat and walk away. Like you don't want him. So by zigzagging up, you're just not being real direct, okay? The more reactive the horses are, when you zigzag, you want to be even slower and go even wider, like be even less direct than what I am now. He's not that bad about it. Try to get 2 eyes. There. Every time he looks at me, I back the pressure off. There we go. Gather up our string here. And the more he doesn't want us to mess with him, that's fine. We can always go back to moving him around. If he feels like it'd be a better idea to go move around, we'll do that. There we go. See how he's funny about wanting to give us 2 eyes, isn't he? See how he keeps hiding his head away from me like that? When he gets turned like that, you don't have a chance of putting the halter on anyway. There. Put a little pressure on that hindquarters until he looks at you. There we go. There. So what I'm going to do slightly different there is every time you notice when I go to reach up to his face, you see how he keeps ducking his head back and forth? So a starting point for us would be, let me get my hand up there, and I'd like you just to keep your head still. So I'm going to kind of have my hand up in front of him. There. When he keeps his head still, retreat and go back again. The more times you can approach and retreat, this is you getting up to him to get him caught like you would tomorrow. Instead of just walking up and doing it once, let him see that multiple times. Wait. There. See how I step back and just kind of move my stick a little just to get his attention. There. Rub. Retreat. So some of your horses at this stage, they're just going to be funny about being caught because they're associating you with a bad deal. They're thinking, oh great, here we go. It's going to be 2 hours, running around, sweating, carrying on. Wait, keep my hand up there. Keep my hand up there. See, I don't want him to feel like he can get away from me by turning his head. Does that make sense? There. Rub him. There, retreat. So he's a good demonstration because he's a little bit of both. He's a little bit, I don't want to be messed with because we're gonna have to go put in a lot of work. And he's a little bit just kind of snorty and kind of funny about being approached in general. Step back and I kind of cluck to him a little just to get his attention back on me. There. Good boy. Rub him right there. See, look at his feet. Does you think he's thinking about moving? I'd say for sure. Okay? So we get a little something done here. Instead of going, okay, now that you gave me a little something good, let's go put the halter on. Let's go back and move his feet again. Okay? I'm not going to try to make him accept the halter. I want it to look like it's his idea. So does this take a little longer every day to get done when you're trying to get this better? Sure it does. Okay, but what's your other option? We come out here and we do the dance. Is that what you call it, Jacqueline, the dance? Okay.
Want more? Get more. The No Worries Club is the best way to get the most out of your training experience. Stick around to find out more.
Hey mate, Clint Anderson here. For the past 20 years, I've devoted my life to creating the best training tools and videos available to help bring my method to you. But there's only one problem. You can't bring your TV into the arena. That's why we've been hard at work developing a new platform to deliver the method to you in a whole new way. A way that brings 20 years of horsemanship and puts it in the palm of your hand. Introducing the mobile method. It's part of the new Down Under digital experience, and it makes learning the method easier than ever before. Let me show you how it works, mate.
Now you can always have access to the method, even when you're on the go or at the barn. The Down Under Horsemanship app gives you access to your digital training kits and allows you to download videos and training content directly to your mobile device or view them on your computer. The Down Under Horsemanship app also offers over 86 hours of free, in-depth training content. No Worries Club members will have full access to Clinton's ever-growing training library and a massive amount of members-only features and information. And the best part is, you can view and interact with each lesson on your mobile device or computer, giving you ultimate access to the method anytime and any place.
The method is the key to getting the most out of your partnership with your horse. We want everybody to experience the difference it will make. That's why we created 3 new ways for you to get the training content you need at the price you want. Our basic level allows you to purchase and download training content to your device at our standard price with no annual fee. When you become a No Worries Club member for $19.99 a month, you get up to 50% discount on any of your purchases. Plus, you get 8 digital videos and 4 digital journals a year, and access to the No Worries Club website, the largest collection of method material and resources in the world. Plus, you can become part of our social network and chat with thousands of other folks just like you. If you want the ultimate experience, mate, the premium membership is for you. You get all the benefits of the No Worries Club, a printed copy of our No Worries Club quarterly journal, and access to all of the method and the professional series kit training videos. Altogether, that's thousands of dollars of horse training and 20 years of horsemanship delivered right to your fingertips. So there you have it, folks. The new mobile method app is the easiest and most effective way to deliver the maximum amount of knowledge at a minimal amount of time. And with the new No Worries Club, you can be assured you're going to get exactly what you need at a price that's right for you. It's a free download, so what are you waiting for, mate? Get started today.
Start your digital training experience today Visit our website and download the Down Under Horsemanship app to experience the method in a whole new way.